something more decent probably, because drawing on a tablet is fun, but it's you need to get used to. Otherwise, it's like cramps, literally. Hey, so yeah. Any expectations for today? Besides the typical, we're all gonna die.
Where were we about? We just left the cave and heading back down the mountainside
Yeah.
towards some smoke, if I remember right.
Well, technically, I guess we can begin the sessions if everybody's actually here and present. I can give a recap
Mm-hmm.
and all that. So, uh,
Mhm.
okay then. In that case, everybody's here. Nice. Oh yeah, I forgot. The Worm still has the question mark AC because he doesn't know. He literally does not know how much AC he has with that little nice armor that he got. So, session 5. Last time we left off, you explored the remnants of the giant's cave, found an alternative pathway that went downwards, went there, started hearing voices one by one, eventually entire the party, and were just walking and walking in darkness without any stop, until again eventually found a small shiver of light that that dispelled the illusion and revealed that the cave they were traversing for so long is actually really short. And as soon as you reach one end of the cave, immediately got teleported back to the beginning, leaving you in this endless loop. And you basically walked for quite a while, 8 hours or so, in circles, exhausting yourself, but not too severely. And as you made it out of the cave, realizing that you're basically on the other side of the mountain, still quite high up in the freezing temperatures, you spotted below yourselves two campfires, one completely north and one in the southwest. Not fire, but basically the trails of smoke in the air that would indicate a campfire or something bigger. So you trekked for an hour through the snow, downwards towards the north, until you decided to, you know what, let's not cross in the middle of the night, almost bare naked, majority of you, and I just set up camp using Julie's hut, and yeah, you basically ate, um, got warm and slept, and then Gen and Warren, including Dovkin, uh, witnessed yourselves being transported or subconsciously uh, put somewhere else in place and time altogether, as you relived some sort of memory of you basically as a part of a crusade going to a battle, a decisive battle that would end a long and bloody civil war. But it happened. It went for a few minutes, and eventually, again, you were the first one to wake up with Prince, because you're elf, so you have the least long sleeping hours. And I don't think you ever did anything besides just to look around, or did you do anything at all? Because I think that's where we cut.
Mm,
So
yeah, I didn't do anything.
okay, so in that case, I'm just gonna quickly set up this. We start. So, again, it is very late at night or quite early, like real early in the morning. You don't know how much because the whole sky is dark, clouded, not a single star, not a single source of light shown in the sky. You wake up after your experience in Dream, and you're in the hut. Anything you like to do on your own meantime while your companion's asleep?
No, not really. How's the weather outside? It's still.
It is cold because you're still quite up in the mountain, and it's cloudy as there's no rays of light coming from above. And besides that, it's dark as hell and there's no source of light.
Yeah. I think I'd probably just sit and just wait.
Right. Gotcha. So, in due time, Prince also wakes up, also steps out to look, and just kind of closes the door immediately after, and just sits back to his bed and chills. Because the fire is magical and does not matter how much wood or how much not flammable content you put in it, it will always burn and it's always going to be warm, so there's no need to scavenge for wood. So, time passes from hour to hour, and eventually, the rest of your companions, Julie, Worm included, wake up as 8 hours have passed by, and in the sky, in the distant sky, you can see a few rays of early sunlight breaking through the horizon, but immediately get swallowed up by the grayish clouds above. So,
Is that normal? Especially being high in the mountains. Would that be normal?
Sorry, did you say the rest of us were awake now?
yeah.
Okay. I am going to kind of look at the miserable sky and then kind of look at the horizon again, trying to see where the smoke was from the other day or the other night.
Well, looking at that direction, which you know is north from yesterday, it's just a bunch of woods. You would know the genuine location because it was dark. You would know the genuine location where it was, but you don't know like the specific. There's no like landmark that would indicate like, oh, it's by the bigger uh, grouped up trees in the distance. No, it's basically.
But there's none now.
No, there's no traces of smoke anywhere.
Okay.
So.
Before speaking to the group, before we head out, do we want to go over our supplies? I feel like we're going to be going on a long trek towards the smoke we've seen.
What is our ration situation?
Give me a second. I have it written down somewhere. Where is it? 7. I think you have currently. You had 2 days worth exactly, so I think you're at 14.
We have
Because
4, 3.
it's been 2 weeks.
14 was that?
Yeah, I think also one of you actually said that you were.
I think that's right, because I had 18, and then tonight.
15.
So yeah, now 14.
Yeah. We have 15.
Okay. So.
Could I get an estimate of how far kind of that wood kind of extends?
Like to the place you want to go, or where?
Yeah, vaguely.
Make me an intelligence check.
An intelligence check. What is my intelligence? La, 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 la.
You don't have carpenters, not carpenters. What's his name? Cartographers tools. No.
No.
Okay, so just an intelligence check.
D plus 2. No, terrible. Far enough to make my legs feel tired.
Yeah. I mean, if it was like a straight point, it would be close, but like close maybe 2 hours, but you need to climb down, and then what lies in the forest that is covered by the trees, you don't know.
I'll just estimate most of a day. Which is probably overkill, but yeah. I mean, we have enough rations for that.
Yeah. So, you can see a sudden grumpy Dovkin emerges from the small hut and overlooks the position. Looks a bit better than yesterday and a lot better than 2 days before, but looks kind of grumpy and a bit tired. Bit bloodshot-eyed, just looking around. They're looking at you, Warren.
I kind of just look at him up and down, and kind of give a little nod, like, well, he's not dead, which is better than yesterday. Is everyone else up at this point?
Yeah, Prince was up a while ago. Of course, the orc is also up, and Chud is also up, but he is, how do I say this? He grabs one of the, how to say this? He grabs one of the, what's it called, bed sheets to wrap himself out, and he tries to walk out, but as soon as he walks out with those bed sheets, it immediately just disappears. Oh.
I'm going to pat my own kind of a bedsheet poncho that I have smugly. Yeah, I'll start kind of packing up my stuff, ready for the hike.
Alrighty. What about the rest of you? Anything you like to do? This early, cold, and dreadful morning?
Nope. My stuff's packed and ready, so just waiting.
Because remember, you got a bag of holding, so you don't need to carry everything on your back anymore. Progress.
Oh yeah, I will probably mention that to everyone. There wasn't really an opportune time before, but yes, I have a bag. It's very deep. However, it's, I don't know what's in there.
Okay.
But I might actually test that again now. Can I reach into the bag?
I was gonna say I was gonna ask for the bag.
You reach into the bag, and the first thing you get the sensation is a wet hand.
I'm going to remove my hand.
Oh, what?
Is there anything on my hand when I take it out of the bag?
Just
Yes.
how does this? You've got this nice little thick red substance on your fingers.
I just kind of look at that. Then I'm just like kneel on the ground, just like wipe my hand on the snow and the grass, stand back up, walk over to Gen and just hand him the bag.
I'll, I'll take the
Go
bag
nuts.
I'm going to reach into the bag and pull out.
Roll me d10. Roll me d10.
Okay, come on.
Alrighty. So, are you just gonna try to touch it gently as Vorum, or are you gonna just grab something and pull it out to see?
I'm just going to pull it out.
Okay. The first thing you pull out is a head of a half-elf guy who's dead. It is bloody. And he is covered in scarring. Please roll me religion or arcana checks. You can choose religion or arcana, and any of you can choose. Also advantage if you wanna take, cause there's 4 NPCs.
Okay, let's see.
They're neither of my expertise, but I imagine I'm probably paying attention too. So if you want to have advantage on it, I'm probably staring to see wherever you pulled out the bag.
All of you can. Vorum, you can also roll arcana
Oh.
or religion. Yeah.
What am I better at? No.
And of
neither
course,
particularly.
Neither one is good. Let's just see.
Oof. I know that probably you're not meant to pull heads out of bags. That's about the extent of my my knowledge.
okay, and Julie. So, Vorum, your is what check? Like what?
10.
Yeah, but
Which
like
was
arcana.
probably arcana.
Arcana. Again, you religion, arcana. Which one?
I'll do religion.
Okay, and Julie, you.
That was an arcana.
Okay. So none of you know except for Gen. You know a bit about as a bounty hunter, you know quite a few signs. Like not any specific, but like most common signs. You would know that there's one distinct marking on its forehead that looks like a perfect carved square with a bunch of triangles just filled in, and a bunch of runes without any like distinct correlation to each other. You would know that this kind of rune is meant to keep something within the subject to not let it out. Surprisingly enough, the 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 scar tissue that you're looking at has quite a few open wounds around the tattoo. Like looking like it's not a tattoo, but like the scar, looking like it's broken somewhat. What else is? I mean, the dude looks relatively old, maybe in his 40s. Has short brown hair, caked in blood, has eyes, has nose, has lips, has a cleanly cut neck, so it wasn't just scrunched up. It was done with intent. But besides that, there's plentiful of stuff on his etched out on his skin by ink or by knife, and you don't really know what to make of it.
So as I'm holding this head that's somehow still like dripping blood, it's not phasing me at all. And I just point like the markings on his forehead shows that he might have been possessed by something. Something they were trying to keep locked within his body.
Vorams just kind of nod really over the top and then go, well, I think the fact you're holding his head is also a sign he's seen better days.
Oh yeah, and I'm just gonna drop the head.
It's on the snow.
Yeah, and you just hear sound boom, and then you just see the head start slowly to roll and amassing this a small cloth of snow and begins to slowly like roll down the hill.
I'll cast Major Hand and just catch the head so it doesn't roll too far.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't want it to roll.
It goes for a good 10 feet before you stop it, and it kind of sinks and stops permanently. Now, no longer a head, but more like a blob of bloodied snow.
All right, I'm going to reach into the bag again. If there's anything else in there.
Roll D10.
I call dibs on his arm.
It's like, okay, let's see. Okay, another.
Well, how often can you say that you pulled out 2 consecutive heads from a bag? You have that. So another. You feel something and you grab it, and you this time pull out a halfling female head. Also has similar scarrings and tattoos. Has a clean cut off head. It's missing both eyes, but they're covered in like a red blindfold, like a heavy blindfold, like it's been around her head a few times. And yeah,
I'm just gonna stare at you and go, can you be booked for parties?
I may have a new career here. Let's see. Should I go for the trifecta? Should I see if I can...
Oh my god!
I'm just gonna shrug.
Roll.
Be like, yeah, go ahead.
Are you also gonna just fucking chuck it away? The head starts to roll, and then Jules like, nah, you stay.
I'm gonna try to place the head down so it doesn't roll.
Next to his foot so it doesn't roll away.
Alright, one more time.
Oh my fucking god. So, okay. Alright. So what you grab a hand, you can sense the fingers. You start to pull it, but it feels incredibly heavy. So basically, you let go of the bag and you just basically get the hand out of it, and you see it's a dwarven hand, and you pull it out, and you also pull out half of its chest cavity. You would assume by the physique of the body, it was a male dwarf. Now definitely dead, and it has interesting little trinket on its pinky finger. It's a ring, but instead of like metal or wood, it looks like it's been made of like a single piece of a ruby.
You said a ruby?
Ruby, yeah, like a ring that is made out of a single piece of a ruby. There's no metal, there's nothing. There's just
Right. Like as I put the bag down and reach both hands in to pull that, I pull out like the arm and the body. I'm like, anybody need a hand?
so Chubb would actually approach from the other side and just grab the bag of holding and just kind of like, like you go one way, he goes the other. And then just the whole just half body just kind of collapse on the snow.
I'm like, okay, two heads, a body.
I'm gonna just like look at all, like imagine the blood mixing with the snow, and I'm gonna say, you can put your like laundry in there if you want to, but listen,
Okay.
right side, we find a really dodgy doctor. We're set.
Yeah. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Looking at the ring, I'm gonna slip the ring off the finger.
okay.
Besides it's made from a ruby. Can I do a check to see if like there's any magic coming off of it?
Roll me an Arcana to decide what you see. What do your elven eyes see, Gen? Let's see.
Oh God. Okay. Give me a sec. Not much.
You can see Prince is basically gathering the small the halfling's head next to the half elf's head and next to the carcass of the dwarf, and kind of starts piling it with snow, and then gives a prayer.
It's a 12.
It's a 12. Well, I mean, you never seen a ring like this before, so you would assume it's magical in some way. Right?
Okay. Right. I'm gonna hold the ring up. Julie, you'd be a person that would know about jewelry.
Oh yes. Let me look at that ring, please.
So what are you gonna do?
Hand it. Yeah, hand it to Julie.
Okay. So what are you looking for specifically, Julie?
Well, first I'm going to assess its value.
Alrighty. Roll me an insight check.
All right.
Oh my fucking god. So you have a few realizations just looking at this. This it's thick enough to fit a pinky finger of a dwarf, and it's not. It's just pure ruby carved out, and you can assume that it's actual pure ruby by the way it reflects to the light. So you would estimate that it's probably like if it was just to cut up and just dealt with to like merchants and stuff, you would assume it would cash you out like good 15, maybe 20,000 gold pieces. But the other side of this is most magical components are made of like require gems, and quite a few necklaces, rings, talismans, magical items require gems to basically contain magical power. So if this ring is truly magical, there must be some insane power that is stored within this ring. Alternatively, it might have been a really stupid noble who just decided to make her ruby out of like a giant ass ruby into a ring.
Well, I can tell you that this is a very beautiful ring, but it's obviously fake. It's some sort of glass, honestly. I can take it off your hands if you like. I mean, it's beautiful. I'd love to wear it.
Insight.
Insight versus deception. Let's fucking go. I don't know how you can insight a level. Oh yeah, level 11s. You're all level 11s. I forgot.
Yeah.
Oh dude. Give me a second.
I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah, it's been a while. So yeah, let's see.
Good luck.
Let's see. Oh my fucking god. Julie with a natural 20. There is no competition to that. You literally like, yeah, like it's like second nature. It's like, yeah, it's worthless. It's just a piece of glass. There's nothing in it. And again, you fucking absolutely believe it. You actually see the disappointment in Julie's eyes as she observes the ring. There's no doubt that this, whatever this is absolute trash.
Okay.
You think it's like the equivalent of like a toy like party ring?
Okay, so just shrug shoulders.
Just
So
go
sorry,
after
love.
it, chucks
It
it over
was
the
very
shoulder. Down there.
beautiful, though.
What was that?
I said, I'm so sorry, love. It is very beautiful, but absolutely worthless.
Hmm.
The next action,
I'm
I'm
gonna-
gonna put it on.
I'm going to grab the bag of holding and just turn it upside down and like shake it out. See if there's anything. There's like there are more body parts in here.
Nothing comes out.
Great. Empty. We're gonna start putting our stuff
You
in
wanna
there.
you wanna put your hand in to see if you can pull up her head?
Ugh. Should I? I don't think I should test it again.
You put your hand into a bag of holding, there's nothing. You
Okay.
catch nothing.
Alright. I'm gonna start putting our supplies in the bag.
Alrighty.
I'm like, well, this was very interesting. I started packing our stuff in there. We've wasted enough time with this. Is everyone ready to continue?
Yeah, I'm good. I don't fancy staying up on a mountainside with a bunch of heads.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, what are we doing with the heads?
So basically, while you're talking, looking over the heads, you basically see all the body parts are basically put neatly in the same spot with basically by Prince, and he's covering everything in snow.
Let's continue before we attract something with all this blood.
So, You are all currently cold. So, I would like you to roll me a d10, one of you, to see how your journey down the mountain goes. And Warren with a fucking 5. So, good 2 hours pass walking down towards the north, making your way towards the slope, with an occasional unstable surface and just illusions of safe passage through the mountain downwards. A few tumbles were had, like nothing severe, just a few trips and slips. You basically made your way, basically 3/4 downwards the mountain, because it's basically a really easy breeze to go downwards. So, I would like all of you to make me a perception check with advantage.
Sorry, what? Check.
Perception. So look around.
With advantage.
Yes. Because instead of saying you can ask for assistance, I'm just gonna automatically give it to you. Okay. With advantage, Julie.
Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
So, making your way downwards, you get quite a bit of a high ground, surveying all the land that you're descending into, seeing any potential food options and any potential problems from unknown denizens. You, Julian, again, making your way path north, do see just a bit northwest, basically a good 15 degree angle to your left from where you're going. A good maybe half a mile below you, you see just a handful of foxes traversing towards you. But as soon as they actually spot you, they actually just kind of start to observe. And they kind of maintain this quite a large distance, like a good 1,000 feet or less. But it's very easy to spot them because all of them have basically orange, brownish fur in a snowy mountain area.
I will go ahead and point them out to everyone around here who doesn't have as good of eyes as me.
I'm watching where I'm going. Got a low, like, center of gravity. Yeah, you just tap me on the shoulder. I'm like,
The orc just literally looks at it for a second and looks at you. Julie says, "Not enough food," and just walks.
Wait, that's what you were... Not enough food? Yeah, we do. What are you talking about?
Oh, there's a pack of foxes over there. I suppose you didn't see them with your poor dwarven eyes.
I stare at you. Go, you want to eat like rodents? Go ahead.
Matter of fact, foxes are actually more closely related to a dog than a rodent, but sure.
You know what else is more related to a dog? Turn around and walk off.
I wouldn't wouldn't be any different than what we're been eating.
Gentle reminder, I'm the only one here with magic, and you are very disposable.
She can make herself into.
Okay. Yeah.
She can lock herself into a hut and leave you all outside.
This is true. She could just be like, nope, this is mine. You're not allowed anymore.
So,
Uh,
but yeah.
where these foxes are, there could be some type of civilization nearby. Could be. Or at least a fox den they would have set up.
Yes, I suppose it would be too much work to try and kill all those little foxes, so let's keep moving.
Oh, too much work. Yeah.
I mean, you can see when you're now paying attention that they're actually just watching you from very far.
I mean, they're watching us. Does it look weird that they're
No,
watching, or
it looks
just
it looks like a
Just-
creature saw someone in the distance and they're discerning if they're gonna hunt them or not.
okay?
I look at Julie and I'm just like, go on. Go run after them through the woods, throwing rocks at them.
Throwing rocks. You're funny. I have magic.
As you keep saying, do you know how
It
you got
feels
that
so
magic?
good to
Because
have
we all
the
voted to
back.
give you it back.
I got it back because I deserve to have my magic back.
Ooh.
I kind of just stare and then I carry on walking off.
Alrighty. So,
Yeah.
with that being said and done, please roll me another D10, my good people. Let's see.
Someone else want to do it?
Oh boy, oh boy. Give me a second. So, another good, hour and a half passes. You're making your way at the to the bottom of the mountain, and with occasional tree and with the how to say this with the less and less snow and more brownish leaves covering your pack, eventually you make your way off the actual mountain. So, bad news though, like bad news though. Give me a second. It starts to rain. A good 5 minutes after you make your way from the actual mountainous area and the sensation on your feet changes from snow and stone to leaves and grass, it starts to drizzle and a proper rain starts soon after. So, at this very moment, all of you, except for Vorum, are freezing.
Sucks to you guys. Use your magic. Sure, that can keep you warm.
As for you, Borum, you're just cold now. It is. You just came off the mountain. The mountain air is still hitting you, but now it's also raining in this cold water. It's not good. So, but you actually made it off the mountain. Congratulations. So, what would you like to do?
Every few seconds, I start casting prestidigitation on myself to keep dry as much as I can, even though it doesn't do much.
Every 6 seconds, I cast. Every 6 seconds, one of those seconds is me being dry. Other 5 are being wet while casting the spell. So yeah.
Using my magic to keep warm, working. You.
Oh boy. Alrighty. So, it is cold. It is really cold. It is freezing. You are, as now time passes on, each consecutive hour you will take 2d6 cold damage. So,
Oh,
yes. So,
God.
with that being said and done, what would you like to do as you actually made your way back to the nice grassy and leafy and tree forest?
Mm.
How far are we from like the cover of the woods?
I mean, technically you are in the woods.
Oh, okay.
You kind of got 5 minutes in, and then immediately it just started to drizzle and then rain. So now from three
Right.
to three, you basically try to get the least amount of rain, but also you're literally nearby a mountain which is still present, and it's fucking cold. So you're all currently freezing, chilling. Well, just freezing.
Is there anything around now that we're off the mountain? Can we see anything?
Roll me a perception check.
Can I help with that? Give them advantage?
Everybody gets advantage with perceptions because, of course, everybody will assist. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay. So, well, by the looks of things, nobody has been here. Uh, the grass is cold and wet, untouched by civilization for how knows how long. Um, Random trees as nature wills it. Um, you don't find anything that would indicate any sort of shelter or any prey that you could hunt for food and for furs.
Nice.
Great. Nothing around.
That bird just want to see us suffer.
Hey,
I'm just going to continue on because there's we're freezing the more we stand here.
Yeah. I'm not
alright.
gonna stand around.
Okay. So, are you gonna continue towards the destination where you want to go, or basically try
Right.
to look for the? I mean, here's the thing. When you looked at the smoke, it wasn't like at the very edge of the woods, just like walking in. It was there somewhere. So it's up to you to decide if you want to just continue the same path and just see if you can actually just come across it, or if you want to go in a specific direction.
I mean, I am in favor of going further into the woods anyway, because in theory that would give us more cover from the rain.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I guess we're still just going north, kind of base where we saw the smoke.
Alrighty. So. Oh. In that case,
What?
roll me a d10, and I'm gonna roll you cold damage. So, 2d6. You all take 11 cold damage.
Me too.
No, you don't. So,
Yeah.
everybody except for Warren, who's just cold, so he's just miserable without taking damage.
Yeah, I am still miserable.
So he is. Okay, so everybody takes cold damage, and yeah. So roll me a d10. Let's see how the fates go. Alrighty. So. You walked an entire hour looking around for any, like, unless you want to roll for something specific, but just looking around for anything that would help with your current situation of basically freezing slowly to death. It's just forest. The leaves are throwing their the trees throwing their leaves to the ground. No animals to be seen. There's no footprints on the ground to take reference.
I'm gonna turn to the other lot and kind of say, well, we're in a wood. We've not exactly got a shortage of wood, but do you think we could make some shelter and start a fire? Or is that not looking possible? As I look up at like all the rain. But actually, like, is that feasible? Would we be able to light a fire? Or
I mean, everything. You've been traveling through this forest for an hour, and everything has been drenched in water. I mean, technically, with your swords, but it would be basically equivalent to Dark Souls bonfire. You need that thing active at all times, otherwise the fire just gonna Because like if you walk occasionally, you'll just like stumble into like a small puddle of water that has just been how to say this? There's like a small incline in a specific spot, and just there's a small pool of water just there from all the rainwater. It's your typical British weather on fall.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
With the misery.
This is miserable, and I think trying to stop right now would
also with all intents and purposes, it's about midday. It's literally about noon to 1ish p.m.
Yeah, it wouldn't be very good to stop right now. Let's keep.
Can we can I do either a perception, like a survival check, to see which route we could take, which is like most covered by the trees, so there's least actual rain?
Yeah,
or is it just?
I mean, here's the thing. It's literally pouring, and most of the trees have already shed their leaves, so there's not.
Okay.
There's no massive tree to shelter you just from everything. I mean, you could find like a tree that like could house like 2 of you under it, and you wouldn't get as wet. But then you just
just the other like a few people just stand there in front of it.
Not to mention not making any anyway, just staying there like
Hmm.
I'm still
Yeah,
found.
maybe
Uh,
press on then.
I'd like to do survival to see if I can find any type of signs of tracks or like
Okay,
just any
roll me
habitation or
roll me with advantage. Alrighty. 22. Well, if there were any tracks on the ground, they would have been muffled and just destroyed by the rain and um, by the actual leaves and just the ground itself basically becoming a giant ass puddle. Um, but but surmising to say, looking around the ground, you look up to above the trees, and you see something odd. You see a small spear, maybe like 3.5 foot, and very thin, just stuck in a tree about good 15 feet above one of the trees, just between the branches. And it looks like a very basic, very crudely made um, wooden spear with a metal tip.
it's just stuck in a tree. Okay. I'm gonna walk to the base of that tree.
If you wanna go climb and take it, you don't need to roll any checks because it is really easy to do. Um, so yeah, if you wanna take the spear, it's literally like it looks like a spear. The metal piece looks like a spear, but the stick looks um, like it doesn't match the actual spear. Like somebody took the spear head and gave it a really poor, really brittle uh, wooden pole.
Maybe the original shaft broke.
Okay, someone called and interrupted the Discord.
So basically, you look at the spear. It looks like a normal spearhead, like made of iron, but the shaft itself is not original and looks a lot more smaller and a lot more weaker.
And how high up was this spear in the tree?
About 15 feet, and just kind of and it just kind of um, stood out. It just stuck in the side of a tree along other branches.
There's nothing in like the opposite direction, where this thing would have been
Right.
thrown from, is there?
Yeah, I would be checking like from where it seemed to be thrown.
Because either someone's chucked it and really badly missed, or they've stuck it there as like a sign or a navigation point.
I mean, you look at it and it just the surrounding area, just the tree that you're on is quite branched out oak tree, and since it's now fall, so it's been summer. Uh, like Worm said, either someone just really chucked it and fucking failed miserably, or it was put there intentionally.
Well,
Either way, this is a sign that somebody's here in this area.
+1 spear, and also we know someone's been here a little while ago. I'm gonna just pull out my compass, and which way are we generally heading? right now?
North and about, I would say, if you want to actual degrees, like 550, 555.
Oh, okay.
It's a
So
plus
we're
one
vaguely on
spear.
track.
Yeah, it's still on the track where you saw the smoke, because you did consult your compass on the exact direction.
Well, I think we continue pressing on, unless anyone's got any objections.
Should we take the spear or leave it?
Why not? You know, use it as a walking stick if you need to.
I mean, it's
And if the actual shaft is terrible, you could probably take off the actual spear tip, and then you'd have like almost a makeshift knife.
I mean,
Right.
when I say like it's I mean it's the most basic spear tip. It's nothing like it looks like it's been made and
Ah, okay.
worn, and it's like there's nothing special about it. It's just look like a simple, like it looks like you could stab someone and kill them if you really.
Okay, well, just use it as a walking stick for now, and then chuck it at someone. And we don't give a shit anymore.
I mean, we can take it, or we can leave it as our own mark to know when we come back, if we come back through here.
I don't plan on coming back. As I like stood there, you're all freezing, and even I'm kind of like shivering a bit in the cold.
Yeah.
Do you plan on coming back this way?
I mean, no, I mean, we're going to have to like reverse track to go back to the.
Oh, please don't even mention that.
Ow! Okay.
Okay,
I
we've
mean-
been coming downhill, and it's been painful. I don't want to go back uphill.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you find another way to get this thing and tap the bracelet, unless you find another way to get it off without severing our hands off.
Okay, well, onwards to potential other way back.
Onwards and onwards. I would like another one of
If
you.
you don't want the spear, I'll take it, but otherwise, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Another,
yeah, I'll grab the spear.
Another D10, and please roll me perception, all of you.
I'll roll the
I
d10.
mean, I'll hand you the spear. You want it, but I'll
Okay.
grab it.
Okay, everybody roll perception.
Let's see.
Yeah, I'll take the spear then. Okay. Perception. Oh my god, my rolls are terrible.
With advantage, remember.
Okay.
Okay, so okay, so I'm kind of bad at this. Okay, so Gen and Julie, it's been another hour, so you know what that means. That's right, you take 6 cold damage. Havara, havara, havara. Let's see. Okay, so I done it. Nice. So, again, and Julie, it's been another hour. The rain is pouring. You can find occasional cover, but it's not good enough because I mean the ground is soaked. It's cold. It's like freezing cold. You don't really know like you wouldn't sleep on that ground because probably overnight it's gonna freeze over. And you're just trudging along, suffering as one does. And then you just, both of you, in a distance, maybe northeast, a good 35 in compass. You start to hear this yelping. Again, you would immediately recognize that yelping as a yelp of a fox. but by the echo of the yelp, you know that it's quite a long, like not a long way, but it's quite a distance away, and it's probably a big fox, because usually foxes don't yelp so loud. So either it's quite big or it's in grave danger. So,
Hmm. Yeah. I'm going to start heading that way.
you don't say anything, you just immediately
Like again, Worm's just like, what's going on? He has just like no perception of anything. He is just like miserable with the rain.
yeah. Just like, where are you going?
Oh, I guess
Yeah.
your
Going
dwarven
that
ears
way.
couldn't hear that either. There's a dog right over this way.
A dog?
Like just walking and just hears this like the ears twitch and just turns and starts going that way.
Yeah, just. I just want one day you go be like at the back of the group and just go a separate way and nobody follows you. And you strut for like good 2 hours, turn back, you see nobody's around you anymore. But yeah. So I'm guessing everybody's gonna try to make their way there.
Yeah. Although I'm not sure why. Just kind of like, oh, for fuck's sake, fine.
Alrighty. So it takes you a good 4 to 5 minutes for them until you also start to hear the distinct whelps of a creature through the rain as you've been just fucking miserable and hear nothing but rain. Yeah, you just hear this yelping, and I gotta ask all of you, because this is a very interesting question. Who knows Goblin?
I gotta check my sheet.
Goblin?
Who knows Goblin?
No.
Let me check me because I forgot what languages I put on here.
Julie, do you know Goblin?
I do not.
I do.
You
I
do!
do. I put it as one of my languages.
Oh my god, what a Chad. Again, the Chad. Oh my god. Okay. So, again. So, the yelps of the beast you can hear. After a few minutes, and now even Borm, the rest can hear the whelps of the fox through the rain. You start to hear another voice yelling, but like not yelling, more like shouting. And you know that it's in Goblin. And he just says, "Don't worry, don't worry. You'll be free soon. Don't worry, don't worry." Yeah. What would you like to do again with that information? As for the rest of you, all of you just hear occasionally yelling gibberish. Like you don't know if it's like something you stepped on, or is it like the trick of the wind or something?
Oh.
Can I make a stealth check? Because I'm just to kind of not draw attention.
Oh, yeah.
That's what. Before that, I gotta stop everybody and was like, there's a goblin up ahead.
I
Sounds
prepare my
like-
spear.
Sounds like he might be tending to the fox. bark. Um, I want to go. I want to go ahead and like stealth ahead to see,
Alrighty,
but
then
I don't.
roll me a stealth check with advantage.
Let's see. What is my stealth?
Actually, no. Roll me just a straight stealth roll, cause I was like, yeah, the water covers like the rain covers your track, but also you're in the middle of forest. You're not exactly in your element to be just like stealthing around in the middle of the day.
Is he the only one making this check?
I mean, he wants to scout ahead with stealth, so Warm, unless you want to also do that.
No, I'll wait.
You'll wait. Okay.
I'll wait.
All
I'm
right.
spear in hand, but I'll wait.
So, you basically usher everybody to stay behind again as you make your way forward towards the noise and the shouting. And you basically take a good 300, 400 feet away from the group, and it's just messy, watery, and just making sure that nobody actually like spots you or just accidentally going into some sort of ambush. Uh, you eventually make your way on like a small edge of like a small cliff that goes like 10 to 15 feet, and then the forest continues, and you're basically on this cliff overlooking the place, and you can see about maybe 70, 80 feet away from you, you see a large tree that has, by some sort of situation, just kind of broke in half, like one of like tree just kind of broke in half, and while one part remains still in the same spot, the other part broke off and fallen over. What you see is like a fox, but quite large. Not large like for you to ride, but it's large enough for, say, a gnome to ride or a goblin to ride. As you can see, it's kind of squished on the by the large branch, which how to say it? I mean, it's it's a thick enough branch that you probably would have trouble to moving with people, like alone or with people. And you can see the fox is making all kinds of whelps in pain, while you can see there is this goblin looking around the tree branch, looking around the fox, and just having this knife out and just starting to like cut bits and pieces of like bits and pieces of like sticks and twigs, basically um, cutting away the whole tree bit by bit. Looking at the goblin, just overlooking how he looks like he's not armed, besides the dagger in his hand. He looks like he has this really uh, greenish hide, like not like rawhide, but like literally this deep mossy greenish hide just covering his back and front, like a cloak of sorts. And you see this you would assume a large skull of a fox just kind of embezzles his head as he's just kind of starts to cut like branches and tries to maintain contact with the fox and basically reassuring that everything is gonna be fine.
And so I can obviously tell he's like trying to help the fox
Uh-huh.
free it.
Yeah, basically,
Okay.
basically the whole you can look for a good minute, and the whole thing basically comes down to he starts to like dislocate a few smaller twigs and branches, loosening the grip, and tries to lift up, fails, looks over the fox to see if it's alright, and continues on. If the fox begins to whelp, then he immediately comes back and basically reassures that he's still there. All in goblin, by the way.
Oh, okay. Uh, um, I am. How far away am I from the goblin?
About 80 to 90 feet. You basically
Okay.
are on the ledge that descends about 10 to 15 feet, and then out of it, 80 to 90 feet, there's the fox. You see the tree, you see the fox, and the goblin does not notices you because he's fixated on the problem at hand.
Okay. I am going to quietly backtrack to the group and bring them up to the edge, basically, where I was,
So yeah,
and inform them of what I seen.
How do you phrase that?
So you see me slinking back through the trees, and I say, there is a small goblin trying to help this large fox that is under this tree branch, this giant tree branch.
I raise an eyebrow and go, how large are we talking?
Like your size, large, but in a tree branch type of form. So a little longer. You know?
Wait, it's under a tree branch, or it is a tree branch, or
No, the fox is under a tree branch.
Okay. I think it should stay there.
It's pink. If we can assist this goblin, the only life, you know,
You want to release the fox, which is the size of me, basically a wolf. You want to let that go.
Well,
And then I kind of like shove my kind of a spear at you. Go, weren't you the one who was complaining about the lack of rations earlier?
Vorum Chud just kind of looks at you and lowers the spear. Well, he has a point. If we release the fox and it goes hostile on us, well, that's free clothing, isn't it?
It's also a potential free having your throat ripped out.
The fox is not much of an issue to all of us. Okay, I mean, the bard over there could just easily charm the thing. So,
you just get a sudden slap on the shoulder as Dolphin kind of approaches you and says, "Didn't you call foxes a rodent just a few hours ago? Are you so afraid of
Exactly, I'm sticking by my guns here.
Besides, if we help, this goblin may be able to help us.
I kind of just look at everyone and go, I feel I'm a bit outnumbered here. So I'm just saying, when it eats Dofkin's leg, I called it.
Well,
Look, I'll look down at Vorum. I've already been
Look
dealing with
down at
one
me.
wet dog all day. I can handle two.
anyway, let's go. And I slink back off again.
Oh, you slink back on the ledge. Just feel like I just imagine the goblin is so like looking over and just looks over the ledge and just sees like a group of individuals just staring him down.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you make your way back on the ledge, you see quite a few more branches are taken off the pile that pressures the box, but it's not free yet.
I want to start making my way down, and I'm going to call out to this goblin. Hello there. Do you need some help?
Are you gonna go stealth? Are you gonna be like, ooh, a spirit of the forest? Or are you gonna actually approach?
I'm going to approach. I'm not gonna sneak while he has a knife.
Are you gonna.
Like, not that it would be much of an issue, but I'm not like I'm gonna call out a good distance away first. So,
Um,
and I'll
I
I'll
don't.
I'll have
I don't
I'll
know what.
have hand
Okay.
yeah I'll have like my hands up, show they're empty.
Um, for a moment when you said that I'm just gonna approach a goblin with a knife, I just imagine a JoJo pose, just fucking walking. On the other side, it's just fucking goblin with a knife. Uh, oh boy. So, you call out, and as soon as you shout out, the goblin jittery stands up and just starts darting around and looks at you and kind of, um, how do I say this? Points his dagger at you, but like, just points at you and just yells at you. Who are you? What do you want?
My hand's still raised like a little. I just point towards the fox. I'm someone who wants to help.
Uh, roll me persuasion with advantage.
Okay.
Alrighty. As soon as he basically says, here's the thing. There's a transition where he asks, and there's a sudden surprise at the first when you start speaking Goblin, realizing that he understands you and you understand him. And as soon as you finish your sentence, he literally just chucks a dagger at your direction, handle first.
Okay. Do I need to make a catch? Catch it?
I mean, it's up to you if you want to catch it. If you want to catch it, there's no. Uh, he's not
Yeah.
he's not like throwing a knife at you. He's more like, hey, I want to help, and he literally just chucks you a dagger like, and he
Okay.
basically motions you forward to just come help.
Okay.
So
Yeah. I snatch it. I snatch the dagger out the ear and.
So basically, you can all see, Julian Warren, that the goblin is now being assisted by Julie. By Gan, god damn it. So yeah, Goblin is getting assisted by Gan to remove the fucking branch. And now again that you are closer look to the fox, you see it's quite fluffy, well groomed, and it's about maybe 5 to 6 feet long. It's quite a long beast. It's a quite long beast, but you see there's like um signs of like actual uh like savage or like aggressiveness. There's just like this.
It looks domesticated.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, as it
And
kind of whelps. But yeah, the branch that you're looking at is basically half a large oak.
I see. Oh, so in Goblin, well, like assisting, I say I do have some companions that could help lift this branch. A very big guy, if you're okay with them approaching. If not, I'll tell them to stay back.
He immediately just starts nodding. Yes, yes, go, go. As he kind of points at like you, like.
So I go back and I get the rest, but I'm motioning for the big guy orc to come like more than the others. But I say, yeah, it's okay, you guys, you can come out.
Okay. So yeah. Julian Worm, you got anything you want to do? Or observe?
Having literally been called out, I guess I'll come. But at the same time, I'm staying quite far back. He's definitely not offering to help.
Alrighty. So.
I'll pull out one of my lightsabers and start cutting away at the branch with it.
So. Again, there is this short moment when the orc approaches the tree and you kind of grasp it, and you see with his grasp he can like lift a bit of it, and he kind of just looks at you. Do we squish him?
No, we don't squish him. We want to release him. He belongs to the goblin over here. Play nice, and we might be able to get like help and shelter from this goblin.
He just kind of waits for a moment to like you see something in his head processing, and he just kind of gives a nod, and he kind of tries to lift. Then he kind of shakes his head. No good, needs to lower the weight. So, in the next few minutes, with your weaponry that you acquired, you basically bit by bit, piece by piece, you disintegrated the whole half a tree. And with one final actual lift from the orc, the fox immediately just kind of like when one of those cats who gets like stuck in like corner or something, and they get released, the immediately just fucking dart out. You see the fox immediately dart out for a good 40 feet, and then slowly returns with like one of its legs kind of, how would I say this? Like it's been how to say this? Sprain maybe, I guess.
Okay.
And the goblin kind of comes to you again and just kind of shakes your hand. Like it takes his both hands, just kind of shakes you wildly. He tries to shake you wildly, but you kind of like don't even like your hand slightly moves as gonna thank you, thank you, thank you. Farewell, as he kind of goes to the fox and just kind of
wait, hold on a minute, like before you can go.
Okay.
Do you, the fox, its leg looks injured. Do you want us to look at that?
He kind of looks at the leg. No, it will be fine in a few days. Thank you. Goodbye. As he kind of proceeds to wander away from the group.
Again, it's falling. Wait, hold on. we just helped you. Before you dash off, you could at least give us some information. You live around here. Are there any other people or goblins?
So so the questions were: do you live here? Are there any other goblins, and what?
Or any other like people, humanoids here?
He doesn't say anything, but he just shakes his head violently, like in agree, and in the straightforward yes.
I'm going to say to Degen, ask him if he lit the fire the other night.
All right. Did you light a fire the other night? We came this way because we saw the smoke.
Not me, but Headhunter Papa did. We hunted boar. We got 4 boars. We had a feast, a big feast.
So you have a whole goblin tribe here.
He shakes his head.
So what did he say?
Also, I forgot what's the. Yeah, it's basically incoherent speech from Julie's and Warren's perspective. I forgot what's the. Have you ever saw that Nickelodeon show of like that family who travels the world? I forgot what's the name is, and they had like the brother who's like never says anything straight. He's like just gibberish. I forgot what's
wild thornberries.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
So basically, that's from Julie's and Warren's perspective.
Yes, Gin is still just like he heard Vorum, but he's still trying to talk to the goblin. Like while the goblin's still trying to walk away.
Yeah. So when you finish saying like the few seconds when you try to think of a question, he immediately turns away and wanders away.
So like wait wait a second. Okay, look. Like he's resisting trying to like grab the goblin and just hold him in the air. He's like trying to play nice with him. So he's like, do you think your tribe would be hostile to myself and my group? We are looking for shelter. We're kind of lost here.
He kind of just shrugs.
I could see like again asking all these questions and getting like drugs and like 1-word answers. I'm like, going well over there, is it?
So I have a question. Again, are you literally holding him?
No, I'm not holding on. I'm kind of just like following behind him as he's trying to walk.
Yeah. So basically, you're following. Basically, this whole thing is getting followed by like at the front. There's a large fucking fox, who's accompanied by a goblin of side to side, and then you see Gen just asking questions as.
Just over there, just trying to ask questions. This guy was just like, okay, you know.
I imagine you're doing that, and then just like back in like the clearing where we've just done all that. It's just like the rest of the group standing in the rain. Going well over
there. You just like hear Elvish curses.
Yeah,
like every day, just Elvish curses, and it's like, okay, let me ask, you hunted boars, so I'm assured that the spear we found in the tree was one of yours or your tribes.
If you show him the spear, he kind of looks at it, takes it, and walks away.
Oh no, Vorn.
No, it's mine. Stay away.
Oh, okay. Oh, you just ask him, but you don't show it, right?
Right.
He just shrugs.
This little shit.
This little, okay, like again, is kind of getting like listen, little person. All right.
I can imagine you're like, listen, little person.
All right.
He kind of stops for the first time, looks at you, and he kind of gets like a bit and piece of like his cloak, and he kind of like scratches it and tries to like pull out like a bit of it, and it kind of doesn't tear apart, and it kind of gives like you a few smidgens of it, and and he just kind of gives you a bit of pieces of this dark greenish fur that looks like like it looks really mossy, like it's been like in the moss, but it's actual fur. You don't even know what kind of animal produces this kind of fur, and it just says my name.
Your name is Fur.
Green fur.
Your name is Green Fur.
He kind of shakes his head.
Okay, Green Fur. You say you have a chief in your tribe.
He kind of
Do you
nods.
think your chief? Do you think your chief would be able to speak with me? And like not in Goblin, he's saying because goddamn you are freaking pissing me off.
He kind of shrugs and walks away.
Get
How
Get
far
him.
are they at this point? Are they just like
get-
walked
oh,
off
if you-
because he keeps following him?
If you didn't follow him, you're lost track of again.
I'm still like stood in the fucking clearing.
like
After some time, after you made some like how to say this? After again you made some walk from the group that was basically by the tree, kind of actually Dovkin and Prince would actually continue just go closer to you and just stay with you, and the orc just kind of looks at you, Worm, and just kind of looks like he's looking at an idiot. What now?
I look at him and just go, "What? I was in favor of stabbing it."
Yes, I shout out in comment for the rest to follow. We're going to the village.
I carry on and for like the fourth time today mutter in Abyssal how I'm surrounded by dickheads.
Yeah,
you just hear Shud just starts laughing. The tricks and tips of diplomacy. With that being said, please roll me d10 as you follow the goblin. Again, if you got any questions, here's the thing. If you get like any obvious questions, like where are we going? Are we going to the village? He's gonna nod with like yes. But if you're gonna ask any complicated questions, even less complicated, like how old are you? He's gonna just shrug.
Yeah, no, like I kind of got that. Like keep it simple. Yes, no question. All I need to go into the village. Yes. Chief is at the village right now. Yes.
So basically, what you're dealing with is basically your average Fallout 4 NPC. There's only 4 options. There's only 4 responses. There's the yes, no, I don't know, and ...
Right. Just like we're going to the village. That's all I need to do. Like hopefully, I'm like looking up praise and stuff. Like hopefully the chief is smarter,
So,
more intelligent.
please roll me a d10, one of you, as you're traversing.
I think it's only right that again rolls,
Also,
Okay.
leading us to our deaths.
Oh god, that's not what I
I
meant.
mean,
I also need to check because you're currently still freezing. Oh my god. Okay, give me a second. I need to roll this. So all of you take additional 5 cold damage as you're basically following a goblin. Few nights back, discussing what would you do if you encounter goblin. Now you're just following it. All of you just have this dreadful like, what are we doing? Why are we following a goblin?
Look, this is the only sign of life we got here. So either they're gonna help us, or we're gonna like slaughter the village and take what they have, their resources. So, okay.
So either semi-murder hobo or full murder hobo. So,
Look,
so tell me this, riddle me this, dear members of this campaign. Anything you like to do while you just traversing and Gan is basically being his sanity's getting chipped away little by little by this.
I imagine like I try to like follow CM, trying to like tell based off like his expression and stuff if Gen's getting any like information. But as I see his face get more and more annoyed, I eventually kind of lose interest and pay more attention to. I want to see if we're just like walking into a trap.
Okay,
I'm paying attention to everything around and not the actual goblin.
alrighty. Roll me a perception check. What about the rest of you?
Oh my god!
All right. Well, this weather's really starting to annoy me. So, anyone who's hurt, just gather around real quick, and I will cast Aura of Vitality on myself and start doling out 2d6s for the next minute.
Voram just like turns around and looks at you. He's like soaking wet, even though he's not as freezing as all of you lot. Has just a miserable expression on his face and goes, "My heart hurts."
Why do I smell burnt toast? What is
My head
burnt-
hurts, but no magic can heal this.
Yeah. Yeah, you're Vorum. You're like fuck.
Yeah, my attention just keeps going back to like the increasingly entertaining expressions of.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, you're like fuck. So, Julie. Wait, Aura Vitality. What does it do? Does it?
It lets me heal one person for 2d6 every 6 seconds for a minute.
Okay, so you're basically healing everybody back up.
Yeah.
More or less.
We're possibly walking into a goblin camp, so I don't want to be too hurt.
Alrighty. So, who are you gonna heal?
Well, obviously myself first.
Okay, and then of course, I'm guessing again.
yes.
Let me. Yep, I'll heal myself, and then I'll work on Jen, then a big guy, and then the elf
Okay.
with whatever left.
Whatever left. The scraps can go to the elf. So an hour passes, and well, how do I say this? It's kind of a treacherous road, if you will. Despite being like foresty area, there's a lot of like cliffs and ledges that you go, and basically the golem just kind of leads you. Like he's not even leading you; he's just going somewhere, and you're just following him. Again, of course, basically asked if you're going back home, and he's like, "Yeah, I am." And you're basically like, nothing wrong can ever happen by doing that. So,
Is the goblin cold, by the way?
the goblin does not look phased. So
Little hot.
he was kind of leading the fox and occasionally just looking around to see if the fox is doing good, and the fox looks normal besides the bottom right leg that is limping at the moment. So a lot of treacherous road after. Um, you are basically going into a forest area. Well, everything is forest, but this is different because you realize that this is, you would assume, a makeshift place. As you can see, basically, like, there's a like there's two large ledges that are covered with leaves and just kind of looks like it's like a roof, but you don't know if it's like by some like circumstance of nature or it was well made. And there's like a ravine between those ledges that the goblin is walking through, and you're looking deeper into the ravine and you see there's just darkness, and you see the goblin just kind of strolling in casually in. What would you like to do?
Just strolling into this darkness. Would look back and be like, well, this is probably leading into their little goblin village.
I give you the most blank kind of expression I can summon, like emphasized by like the rain.
Hey, look, if you don't want to go in, you can stay out here. If you don't feel comfortable in, that's your choice.
More staring. my expression is just, what the fuck?
Just giving us the option.
I'm gonna like hold up one of my hands in like for silence, and then I just go, "Do you seriously trust that little shit?"
Of course not. If you look down at my hands, you'll see I'm gripping the hilt. Of course not.
Okay.
But like I said, this is the only sign of somewhat civilized. And we need information in this area, so they live out here. They know what's going on out here. At least I hope the chief is smarter than that one. Points.
Okay.
Okay. Fine. What if they're smarter and really need a meal about now?
Well, if they're eating a meal, hopefully they're hospitable and they'll invite us in to join.
I just gonna stare and like, you have a very positive outlook on life, don't you?
You have to stay positive or you snap.
You can see Gen as soon as he says that there's like a twitch under his eye.
Yep.
Vorm actually feels a slight relief. He's like, I'm not the only one who hasn't broken yet.
So the consensus of the party is that they're going in, right?
Well, let's be honest. I'm used to dealing with crowds. I can take care of this.
Oh no!
Of course. If they get hostile, we'll just have the.
Does your music transcend the language barrier?
No, you know what? It's basically that meme. Like Julia's like, I can take all the goblins in the crowd. More in the fight, right? In a fight, right? Oh no, a bard! Shit. Okay, so.
Yes. So we're gonna head inside.
Yeah. So. Oh boy. So. Going into the darkness, into the ravine. It is nice to be out of the rain once and for all, at least for long as this ravine goes. So you start to just be in this darkness and continue to just walk past. The goblin eventually, a few minutes after just walking into the darkness, just stumbles upon like a piece of wood. Just like he kicks something and you hear the rolling of the wood and it's like, ah, there it is. As he kind of gets it, and then you can see immediately just the torch lights up and looks back at you again
Mm-hmm.
and says nothing and walks forward. um, and you basically look around and you see that this is literally like you're in some sort of cave system. Well, not a cave system, but like a natural tunnel. But it's less like stone, more like literal dirt and moss. You look above, there's no like patching that you saw at the entrance. It is quite literally the same thing that you've been through yesterday, minus instead of stone, it's now dirt. But also minus the curse, so yeah. So yeah. Walking through these paths, you can see on the ground, all of you can see on the ground, there's many footsteps alike. Majority of them are in fact goblin. How many of them you couldn't surmise, because there's like a path, or the path is like 20 to 15 feet width, and it's all covered with goblin prints, which is barefoot goblins. Of course, so you also see other animals. Again, and anybody else, roll me a nature check with advantage, because everybody is assisting you in this.
All of us, or
Yes,
just
everybody
us?
gets advantage, because instead of saying you can ask for assistance, everybody gets, because there's more NPCs than there's PCs. Okay. Oh my god, is that a natural 20? Again, you're a hunter and in your nature is 0. Oh boy. So again, well, let's start with Vorum. Vorum, you recognize quite a lot of footprints. You recognize cats, dogs, foxes, bears, and quite a few things that you don't really know what they are. You assume some sort of snakes. Vorum, you also see footprints that are with the creatures as before, but also you see that there are also small prints on the walls that indicate there are also large spiders. And the slithering, you realize it's not just a snake, or not only snakes, but also centipedes. Really large centipedes.
Centipedes.
Ah, yes. Oh, poor Vorum.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I have my hands very tightly clenched around my weapons.
I mean, the pathway is kind of clear. There's no like, how to say this, widening like anywhere. There's only like a single pathway, 15 to 20 wide, respectively, of like this of like from 15 to 20. And yeah, you just follow the goblin with its fox into this darkness. So, anybody, and I'm saying anybody, would like to do anything.
What is our marching order? I guess
Well,
it's
the goblin
again at the
first.
front.
Goblin first with his wolf, not wolf, fox. Of course, Gen is also second. I would, of course, Prince and Dovkin would follow both because
Oh,
they
yeah.
were, yeah. And then Julie, Vorum, Chud, and the orc also are with just
Okay.
at the back, I guess. Well, that's kind of. So.
I will. I'll lean down to Vorum and whisper, "Keep your weapons at the ready. Only savage races live in the side of mountains."
Voram is very annoyed, but he is more convinced he's marching to his death than anything else. So, yeah, just look straight ahead.
What's that? What's that World War I song that the British said? Like, what the hell? Oh, no, I forgot. What's the fucking marching song? Which is like, oh boy, we're gonna die. Let's go. What a glorious day to die.
Glory, glory, what a glorious way to die.
Yes.
A bit less jolly. More kind of, oh fuck, we're going to die.
Yeah.
I would want to kill Julie first, but never mind, I'll settle for survival.
Oh boy. So yeah.
No, actually, sorry. I'm gonna keep walking in like silence, all that playing in my head, and then I'm going to like turn and with an incredibly sincere expression, look at Julie and go, "Why do you propagate racism?"
Just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's just start a
But like a really
debate
different
right here.
tone of voice as well.
You started it, short man.
I said you couldn't see, and you couldn't see.
Because you're old.
Oh my god.
You certainly talk a lot of shit for a man who has metal embedded in his arm.
You talk a lot of shit for someone who just knows how to sing and set things on fire. And also magic. You keep reminding me of that. Don't worry, I didn't forget. Anyway, how far have we gone during this exchange? Continuing the march.
So a good 15 minutes have passed since your revelation, and yeah, the thing is still going, and the goblin suddenly stops and starts tapping his feet. Oh, we're about here, and he just starts to run off with the fox. And you just suddenly hear a bunch of footsteps from the goblin itself. It's like he's like with the fox. It's just like, yeah. And you basically see that your fire swords from the goblin just kind of just go shoo.
I start to take off behind him, but not like running, but like a nice pace, because I'm pretty sure I can keep up with him.
Yes, you can.
I just keep, but I don't want to seem like I'm chasing him. Like, so I'm just
Okay.
like just a good brisk pace to keep up, but not like I'm chasing.
Alrighty. So.
Does Prince and Dovkin like run after him, or is it just you two at the front sprint off into the dark?
Dovkin is a bit lost, and then sprints off, and Prince just kind of stands there dumbfounded.
Are we willing to like cut the losses here at one man?
Well, technically two, because again, and Dovkin went off the goblin. Again, takes only a few Actually, less than a minute, as there's like a wide corner, like a quick corner, and then uh, immediately stops. The goblin stops by the door and almost like literally face plants like against it, and just kind of stops and looks back at you. Uh, and he kind of just gives you the like be quiet like, as he kind of starts opening the door quietly. Uh, from the other side of the door, you see quite like the door itself is like a single normal door, like actually normally built. Like looks like it's been built by a previous like not a goblin door, like an actual sturdy door. As the door is slowly but surely is getting open, on the other side you see a giant cavern, just like a giant opening of like open space and area. The first thing you see is a lot of structures, like shoddy structures of wood and stone that are definitely the benchmark hallmark of goblin architecture. Uh, Other things you notice immediately are there's quite a lot of mining equipment, uh, carts, like mining carts. Um, what's it called? What's the thing called where you basically put it in the mine so they don't collapse? God, fuck, I forgot.
Supports.
Supports, yeah,
Struts.
bunch of supports that were reinforced with metal that were kept and just remained still. Uh, Despite you looking at like a makeshift or how long this been goblin village or town, it's also been something else before, maybe a mine of some sort. Um, as for the populace of it, you see quite a few goblins immediately mind their own business. There's this like large cauldron at the center of it that is like uh, getting used to just cook or I guess boil at this moment something. And you see there's just a goblin working on it, and you see this large ass 40-foot long centipede just like enveloping the whole middle part of the pot and just kind of looking its head next to the goblin. And it looks like the centipede is like a cooking assistant to the goblin. But yeah, you basically see a lot of goblins. Well, a dozen or so goblins. None of them seem to notice you yet, but have noticed your companion, as he basically, as soon as the door opens, he basically runs in with the fox. And you see every single like the goblin, has some sort of animal companion with them, and quite large as well. You see a cat that would literally be a size like of a small wolf. You see a dog that looks like a size of a warg. You see a fucking centipede that is really fucking long.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh God, what are they feeding these things?
Um. And you see the goblin the by okay. You see the goblin by the cauldron takes off this brownish cowl, and you see there's a lot of like you don't know what like chitinous spikes coming from his head, and you see his eyes are dark red, and he just kind of yells at the goblin, "Hey, I told you to close the door!" And he kind of just looks at the door and then looks at you.
They're just so steady, they're staring
And
at
he
everything.
and he just kind of screeches for a second and extends a spoon in your direction with like malicious intent.
I put my hands up in Goblin. I say, I come in peace, not a threat.
So you see the goblin, the one that you helped, is now running towards. I guess I can call him Green first. He's running towards the cauldron, towards the towards the goblin there, and you see every single goblin now takes notice of you, looking at their weaponry as they kind of prepare to fight or whatever. You can see they have. Um, you would assume that it's probably scavenged weaponry. There's like the spear that you found before that has been replaced the shaft. You see quite a few long swords and short swords that have been rusted and decayed. You see.
Are we all there, by the way, or is this just?
I'm just saying what Gen observes, and about
Okay.
this moment, you're basically on the other side of the door that is slowly closing out. And you just open up the door, and you just basically see a giant ass centipede in the middle of this area. And a goblin next to it, and the goblin is just staring with this depth stare towards Gen and just extending his spoon.
I'm going to point at Green Fur, and I'm still speaking in Goblin. We assisted Green Fur, and point at the fox. Fox was hurt and trapped. We freed it.
Okay, so the goblin says nothing. He's just gonna hit you. Any words you say, you at least now, both the party and Gen get the same fucking reaction, because all you hear is just hissing from the goblin, and then immediately you see its eyes kind of look over the smaller goblin, the green first, that is approaching, and he kind of uses the centipede like a ladder to get up on the cauldron, like to the side of the cauldron, and kind of goes to the one who's holding the spoon and hissing aggressively at you again, and he whispers something in its ear, and then immediately the spoon just kind of retracts. And when the goblin green first finishes talking, he gets whacked over his head with a spoon and immediately falls unconscious as he kind of just plops on the ground.
I just kind of say, just as a reaction, like, now was that necessary?
I kind of look at Gen and go, negotiations going well.
you just hear Judd saying, "Ah, the subtle art of diplomacy."
I'm gonna kind of take like a big look at all of them and then just go, do any of you speak common?
I do, as the spoon goes back at the group's location.
I go, okay. And then in Dwarvish, I'm gonna say, does anyone speak Dwarvish?
You actually see one of the goblins, like way up in this open area on like one of like the shady, like those shoddy little buildings that goblins build, just peek its head out, and you see he has like half decayed ram skull on its head, and he kind of wipes his head. I do.
I kind of go, shit, okay. Last time, does anyone speak Draconic?
The intimidating goblin with a spoon says, "I do."
I'm running out. Last time, does anyone speak Abyssal?
Are we going through every language
I'm
here?
trying to find a language they don't speak.
The goblin looks a bit confused. The same one with the spoon.
I'm gonna
I
kind of like
still do.
hesitate for. Wait, what? I say in abyssal. You speak abyssal.
Aye. Are you a demon of abyss?
No, I'm just checking. No, just checking. You know, shit. Never mind.
The goblin by the cauldron returns to common and just addresses all of you. What are you doing in my lair?
We're not sure.
Can you put the spoon down, all right? Can you lower the spoon?
He kind of retracts a bit and then extends again. No, I want answers. Who are you?
Well, so do we. We want answers, and we have not shown any hostility to you at all.
I'm gonna say in common, we were in the neighborhood, and the weather wasn't that good.
He kind of stops for a bit, and you can see his hand just kind of slowly rotates, and he extends. What do you seek here? Treasure? We got no treasure.
Shelter is what we're seeking.
Shelter. From who? From what? Who are you?
Well, currently from the elements. Don't you know it's freezing out there? And we are a couple of lost people trying to figure out what's going on around here.
Roll me persuasion with advantage. Not because
Is this conversation taking place in Goblin or Common, by the way?
common.
Common.
He spoke again in well, technically spoke in common to all of you, then spoke with you to you in Draconic and Abyssal, and then returned back to common. Yeah, this dude knows his
Damn.
languages. Yeah,
Multi-talented goblins.
I mean, let's be honest. He has chitinous needles coming out of his head. He has some sort of. He's not your typical goblin TM. Let's see. Oh my god. He kind of stops, and you can see his eyes, his red eyes, like, how to say this? It's not like slight like coloration of eyes. It looks like it's something is powering them, like a tiny LED is powering them, and it just kind of settles down a bit as he kind of fully retracts the spoon. Very well. But if I see you snooping around, trying to destroy this lair, we'll have you for supper.
As long as you don't show hostility to us, we have no intentions of being hostile to you. We only seek shelter.
I mean, technically, he's being hostile right now. So.
Chud is like, yes.
Look, we only want shelter. Some information if you're willing.
He just kind of squints at that. Fine. He kind of points in the random position in the cave. And this cave is massive. It's like hundreds of feet in every direction from the cauldron. The cauldron is set in a center, and there's like a small, how do I say this? There's like a small gap in the actual ceiling where the smoke comes out. And there's a bits of rain coming out, but I mean, it's a big ass fire that is going under the kettle, and the kettle is fucking large, or the cauldron, I guess. So yeah, he kind of points in the random, like not like in a specific spot, but he kind of just like kind of gives like a wide arc and just says, "Fine," and just kind of continues, just looks back at his cauldron and just like starts scooping something with a spoon. Prince just kind of comes a bit closer to you again. What now? Okay, so you decide what you want to do, because you got yourself a space in this large cave area. And I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
Well, that went better than expected.
Right? Don't. Like I imagine, like we've all grouped huddled, like
Yeah,
away.
really awkwardly together.
Like, okay, we're here. Not hostile. Well, not like hostile to the point where they're ready to throw us into the cauldron.
Not particularly friendly though either. We should find out before we leave if it's their smoke we were seeing.
Well,
But then again, I'm not sure how the smoke would come from down here.
True. Finding out the smoke, finding out if there are any other villages that might be near. If they are out here hunting, they would know a good bit of the area. At least the smarter ones.
Oh boy. So, what's the decision, my good sirs? What did you decide to do?
Kind of all huddled up, really awkwardly together. We're like strategizing in a group huddle.
So, to describe the situation, what you basically are, I guess I'll draw the fucking map next session so everybody can get context of what they want to do. I mean, it depends on how long, because you might just leave the very next day. But this cave is about like 300 feet in all directions from the cauldron, like wide. It's a very spacious open area. You see quite a bit of like a good 80 to 90 feet to the actual ceiling of the place, which is mostly just, you know, just stone and rock and dirt, except for like a small window at the very center with a cauldron. And you see quite a lot of buildings that were made by basically scavenged bits of wood, but curiously enough, it's not like they just huddle up branches or that. It looks like they got building materials from somewhere. As you can see, there's like actual well-made stonemason and carpentry materials that are like part of their construction, but they of course are poorly built because goblins don't really know architecture good enough. It looks it looks like it could just like crumble at any moment if like enough of a good shake happens. Quite a few are stationed at the bottom, and quite a few are stationed at the like higher places where there's actual like ledge that was basically made for like ledge that was basically natural space. And yeah, there's, now that you look around, there's maybe 40 or so goblins just minding their own business there, everyone with their own companions. small and elder, going from like a small squirrel to like a large ass owl that is like 8 foot tall.
Looking in this cavern, is there like a chimney or like any hole in the
Yes.
roof that?
Yes, there is only one hole, and it's in the center where the cauldron is, like way up, like
Oh, okay.
yeah. So the cauldron is the only source of fire, and at first you thought, hey, maybe that's just like a lot of like salvage wood or anything. You took a notice, like just to look what's actually like making all the fire, because there's no actual like fire source, like no wood or coal stored nearby, and you realize that there is an actual fire elemental under the cauldron that is just heating the whole cauldron.
Just chilling there?
Freaking fire elemental just chilling with the goblins. I'm just here.
I mean, you see the entity moving. It doesn't make any sound. And if anybody's like looks a bit too long, you just immediately get the sense that the goblin by the cauldron is watching you. And the goblin by the cauldron never leaves the side of the cauldron. Occasionally, a goblin will come with like a piece of shroom or cabbage or like any vegetable or plant from their whole dwelling, and he just chucks it in the pot and like just like
keep stirring.
Yeah. And the spoon,
Right.
the spoon itself is basically just a normal size. Like it's equivalent of like a size different. Like it's somewhere between a normal teaspoon and an actual spoon, and it's a wooden spoon. It's not a big like massive spoon. It's literally a tiny spoon. For like
Is there any? Sorry.
yeah, go.
I was just gonna ask. Is there any other chambers or like kind of caves coming off this main one, or is it one singular?
Well, looking around, you
Cavern.
basically see just one big area. You don't really know if it's actually been always this way or maybe.
Okay, because I'm gonna kind of like look at the hole in the ceiling where the smoke's going out of, and I'm gonna kind of say, there was 2 sets of smoke, wasn't there?
But the other one was southwest.
Yep.
So do these lot have friends, or probably find that out before we leave?
So yeah, you, my good sir, everybody just also Greenfur is still unconscious by the kettle, not the kettle, but by the cauldron. If you want to do anything with him, because the fox is kind of just chilling, like just sitting nearby and just waiting for it to just wake up. So yeah, that's that. Also, you get yourself quite a bit of eyes from Goblin just looking at you, and despite how you view goblins, despite them having really poor quality weaponry, they have really nice adept clothing made of fur. Like we're not talking like they just like made some patch leather from like different animals. They have like full, I guess, full sets of like a specific animal that they just made, like excellent looking clothing.
That's interesting.
Roughly how far are we from the cauldron right now?
Well, it's about 300 feet from like the longest. Basically, where you're chilling, you can chill anywhere you want, except for the houses, of course. But like, it depends on where you actually position, because the cave goes basically 300 feet in all ways. It's like a really spacious thing.
It's like so. It's like a radius of 300 feet.
Yeah.
And the cauldron is in the center.
Yes.
Okay.
And the cauldron is not your
Mhm.
typical small one. It's quite large. It's 9 foot tall, about 12 foot width. It's a massive little cauldron, which makes it even curiouser how he can maintain all that liquid with just a single spoon as a goblin.
It's like well, with an elemental there and glowing red eyes. Like I'm assuming this goblin is magically inclined or something.
Perhaps.
Um, Good ask this goblin. So I presume you're in charge here, right?
He doesn't say anything. He does not even give you eye contact. He just nods while looking at the boiling of the cauldron.
So
I'm going to. Oh, sorry.
hospitable, these people. He just mutters that.
I am
Oh.
going to, after a little while of kind of waiting around, sitting, going to stand up and meander my way over towards leader goblin man.
Same with Gen. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll stop a respectable distance away, and I kind of think about bowing for a second and then deciding, no, absolutely not.
So here's the thing. You get about good 40 feet from the cauldron. He immediately, just looking at the cauldron all this time, he gives you a slight glare with one eye and then looks back at the cauldron and just says, speak.
I wanted to ask one or two simple questions, if that's all right.
He nods.
Is this all of you?
No.
Is there another group?
Yes, but they're enemies of ours.
Oh, you don't like them then?
Is that not the definition of enemies?
Fair enough. Just checking. Are they, by any chance, in this wood? Or the one up there? Point at the ceiling.
I wouldn't know such feeble matters. Wait for the headhunter to come back and ask him. He deals with the outside threats. I deal with eternal threats. Infernal.
I see.
He kind of starts mumbling to himself, shakes immediately, and then just focuses on the cauldron.
Will you have enough food for everyone then?
If you're not picky.
Oh no, don't worry about me. I'm just wondering how it's going. You seem very dedicated.
It's one of my older passions.
I kind of give a nod, and then as if I'm in like deep thought and deep agreement, and I kind of just casually have a look around all the other goblins, and then I turn back to go. Thank you very much for your time. And kind of turn and march back over to where I was before.
Okay.
What are you feeding these animals that makes them so large?
You're asking the leader?
Yes.
Jealous elf?
Curious is more like it.
Roll me a history check again.
Oh, wonderful, because I'm so good at history. It's my plus 0. Let's see.
As for the goblin leader's answer, he
No.
says ancient tribal secrets, not for the ears or eyes of elves.
That's fine. Keep your secrets of large animals. How long has your tribe been here in this area? If you don't mind me asking that.
You can see he stops stirring. Doesn't look away. He just kind of stops for a second. Since I've been alive, perhaps. And then he continues stirring. About over 2 centuries.
2 centuries. Jeez. Not the typical lifespan of a goblin.
He chuckles under his breath. Oh, what gave that away? My head or my eyes?
Gid is about to say something, but he bites it back because he doesn't know all the languages this guy understands. So he's like, no. So, what is it then? You worship some type of demon you made a pact with? Or you just have some spirit looking after you and your tribe? Obviously, you're magically inclined, I can tell that. And you have an elemental that's just sitting there, points under the cauldron.
Roll me a persuasion check and roll me another history check.
Persuasion and what?
Persuasion for response and then history after.
Yes.
Julie, do you have anything you like to do?
I'll kind of wander around here and there and just kind of eye up the place and see if I.
Oh my god, what did you roll? Natural 20. 29! Oh my
No.
god. Oh my fucking god. What's with you people and speed running things? What the fuck? The DC to get a full answer was 28. Oh my god. Now roll me a history check with advantage.
Oh, that one's not going to be as good. So.
But while he's doing that, I'll be walking around and I'll try and get within 110 feet of the cauldron and quickly cast a message directly to the fire elemental. Are you here willingly or are you trapped?
I didn't do the advantage.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Ooh.
Dang.
Oh my fucking god. Natural one. Ooh. Oh my god.
Well,
Give me a
the
second.
first one with a 7. So.
Give me a second. I'm about to do it. He kind of stops for the first time ever, stirring the pot, and then looks at you. His eyes are in full glow, and you see for a bit of a second his actual spikes that are growing out of his head twitch. Does a name of Zagratar the Black ring any bells?
Zagroton. I'm assuming that's the history check, so
Yeah.
no. I don't think I've met.
So immediately as you showed the first signs of like not knowing who he is, his grimace change and darkens a bit. He has this sense of anger, but also disappointment, and like in his face that just is present, and just gives a deep
Well,
sigh.
if you're willing to talk, I am willing to listen. Sounds like an interesting person. If he's willing,
Person
if he's
yelling a bit
willing to
louder
take,
so everybody can catch on.
if he's taking care of you and your tribe here, seems like you're well taken care of here.
He doesn't says anything. He just kind of chuckles to himself. And immediately as he just calms down, looks at the pot, he immediately, you see his face immediately becomes extremely angry and looks at you, Julie. And Julie, there's no response from the elemental, and and you immediately, as soon as you end the spell, the goblin looks at you with the spoon. Don't! He's busy making the cauldron hot.
Sorry. Just look back at Julie like what you trying to do?
Yeah.
It's like we're trying not to anger the glowing-eyed goblin with the giant centipede. We don't want this.
Not the best of me.
I got it. Okay.
So,
Muttering.
but yeah, Julie, you get no response from the elemental, and you get told by the goblin. What would you like to do?
I would like to sulk.
Grumble, grumble, grumble.
Is in my walking around, did I see if they had any maybe instruments laying around?
Like musical instruments?
Like musical instruments.
Actually no, except for actually quite a few sticks that are actually really bad made lutes, and actually quite a few drums that are not very good quality. Well, the quality of like the made fur, that's good. The quality of the wooden part of the drum that holds the leather together is fucking atrocious. And yeah.
You said there was crudely made lutes.
Yep.
I'll pick up one of the crudely made lutes and start plucking at it and seeing if I can get a good tune off of it.
Whee. Roll me performance check. What about you, Warren? Anything? Again?
kind of just been watching this from the back, being like, I've seen the totally not creepy interaction. I've seen him basically intercept that message. I'm basically staying back and watching kind of the entrance more than anything. I'm waiting for this this hunter to come back,
So first
and also
thing,
making sure no one creeps on, like tries to take our stuff or anything.
I mean, you get quite a few eyes from from every goblin that is not busy with their own stuff. You get quite a lot of people, including the dude who's wearing literally a half-decayed ram on his head, looking at you. Like, as not like a hunting you look like a prey. It's more like, who the fuck are you? So Julie, you pluck out one of the most of the flutes that you find, or flutes that you find, are kind of decayed, they're broken, not playing any good tunes. You find one quite decent one, right? Um, and you see nothing is wrong with it, right? It looks pretty decent. And try to blow it, and as soon as you put the flute to your lips, something slips into your mouth. And you spit it out to reveal a worm. Or a centipede.
Disgusting creature.
I feel like a centipede would have been better. Oof. But yeah. Dude, I should have done. Never mind. But yeah. I mean, oh yeah, by the way, when it comes to weather, it's cozy, it's toasty, it's warm, it's chill. There's no cold to be had. All of you are coolios, chilling. Nothing bad will happen to you. I hope. So,
I'll find a comfy corner and just start playing my music.
okay. So, again, after your encounter with the dude by the cauldron, anything you like to do?
I'm gonna ask if do you have a name, or should I just call you Red Eyes Goblin?
There's a face of defeat. At the goblin just kind of looks you back, and he tries to be angry, but there's this face of understanding. And then he just kind of looks at you for a moment, and angers up again. I'm Zagratar, you dimwit.
You. Well, how the hell am I supposed to know that? Getting midget?
There's a fucking look of defeat on the goblin. I swear to God, I never thought I'm gonna. Oh my. He looks genuinely sad.
Like, yeah, it doesn't feel good to be insulted, does it?
I'm gonna stand up at this point because I've been watching this, and be like, walk over and be like, let's not insult our host.
Oh wait, Warren, you heard everything? Roll history.
I've been like, yeah, I've not been very far away.
Roll history.
I've just been a little bit back.
Roll a history with advantage.
Okay. What is my history?
Oh my fucking god.
Great.
If you roll natural 20, I'm gonna fucking freak.
Oh, my roll must be terrible.
Oh, oh my fucking god! If you're gonna roll
I have like
natural
rolled
20!
nothing but below 10s this whole time. Oh,
Beautiful.
God. What do I know?
Oh my god. Wind back a bit. You knew, the. God damn it. You knew the fucking. Ah, dude. I'm so fucking. Ah, dude. Oh no.
Have I screwed you over?
Yeah.
I think we've been screwing him over this whole time.
So.
It's not just the bard this time.
Oh my fucking god.
Where I'm just in the background. I like it. Imagine it took me like this long for me to get whatever this information is in my head.
Yeah. Oh my god, give me a second.
Come on.
Oh my god. Okay, okay.
We speedrunning. Is that what's going on?
So, God damn it. Yeah, speed running this, of course. Oh boy. So, fuck. Okay. So, you would know Zegratar the Black as Warlord Zegratar the Black, aka the Chosen of Behemoth, aka the Goblin Terror of Darkness, aka the leader of Baylors, aka the Scourge of the Goblin Tread 2 centuries ago. He is one of the main reasons why there was a fucking goblin horde in the Empire as a massive threat.
Oh.
He is known by so many rumors. He has so many contracts, so many everything. He sold his body to hell, his soul to abyss. He made with he screwed over more demons and devils than probably Julia has ever fucked people. He is the embodiment of evil.
Okay. So, pretty big deal.
And now that you're like, look at him like.
Yeah, okay. As I was saying before, I come towards you. I'm like, let's not insult each other. We are guests. We should be courteous to our host. And I'm going to, because I imagine it's taken me all this time for it to finally click in my head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like, when I say this, I am going to look into your eyes with as much like, shut the fuck up, as I can possibly muster into an expression.
I'll look around and just see how many people are paying attention to my performance.
Nobody is really interested in you. Well, two goblins are staring from above just looking at you. One of them is a child, probably not even knowing what the fuck you are as a concept. A daughter is just like I guess it's the dude. It's like how to say this? It's a grayish skinned goblin just staring you down, and he has this wolf pelt over his head, and just kind of staring you down from above.
I'll just smile and nod in his direction. I was hoping for more of a crowd. Yeah.
He kind of shakes his head and slips away.
At least some people appreciate art.
So, yeah.
trying to think what I can actually do with this information. But my brain is just like, not be here.
That's who might be really serious. Ooh. Okay.
Maybe the rain wasn't too bad.
Yeah. So, have you ever played Witcher 3? No? Nobody?
No.
No, but I know a bit about it.
I've
Do you
seen
know-
parts of it.
Do you know the Man of Glass?
No.
Ah. Okay. Let's just say he does stuff with a wooden spoon that you would freak the fuck out.
Oh.
So, yeah. He's keeping an eye on the pot. Stirring and stirring.
I'm gonna like look at the fire elemental below the pot.
Uh-huh.
With the knowledge I now possess, does it look afraid?
Roll me perception check.
Perception or insight?
Perception.
Perception. So,
You want to shit your pants, my good sir? You want to shit your pants? So you know.
no, but also.
Okay, so you mistaken it for a fire elemental. Cause fun fact, did you know there's a small but very intense column of flame that is coming out from ahead of a Baylor? There's a whole fucking Baylor under the cauldron that is moving. That is not moving,
Okay.
standing still. Yeah, Julie, he did not respond to you.
Basically, anyone who looks at me now is I'm just kind of like I have this look, or it's like my skin is just pale.
Pale. What? All the blood is just drained.
Yeah, and I am just like staring at the. I stare at the guy stirring the pot, and I stare at the fire elemental. I'm like, yeah.
I see you like go pale like that, and I like kind of hand on your shoulder, kind of pull you backwards towards the rest of the group.
You see,
Yeah, there's like no resistance for me. I'm like catatonic.
yeah.
Just like pull you back, hopefully like out of earshot, and I'm like, what? What is it?
I kind of like look on for like a couple more seconds if I haven't heard you, and I turn my head and look at you, and I'm like, I think we are a little bit over our heads here. I think the rain isn't so bad. Please. I have like this begging tone about it. Be on your best behavior, please. And there's like genuine fear in my eyes.
That bad, huh? Okay.
Yes. And I kind of like look
okay,
slowly over towards the fire and the cauldron again,
Okay.
and I just like can't bring any more words.
Yeah. Warren, you just see Chad approach you and says, "What? They're just a bunch of goblins."
I look at him. Yeah. I look at Chad. I'm like, yes, but also no.
Yes, but no.
Like noticing that he's now like his attention is all on the cauldron and the fire under. Can I do a check now? Like
Check for what?
like
To reevaluate what he thinks it is.
right. I've only been paying attention to the goblin mainly, so now I'm looking at this called like, what's up with the cauldron?
Uh,
Like, what's with
okay.
the fire?
So please roll me another perception check.
It's like it's
Oh boy.
the fire. Somebody said something about an elemental. I
As
don't.
he's looking, I'm gonna like whisper in his ear.
Mhm.
Best case, we are with some very, very educated goblins. Worst case, we don't have long to live.
Wow.
Well, okay, so you don't know what the fuck that might be, but you realize that there's some sort of hide under all that fire. You see that like the fire you thought that was just elemental, just occasionally just kind of slightly moving, but you realize that the it's not an elemental. There's a source of fire, and there's something under that fire that is causing the fire.
If I like look down, is the floor kind of I'm like reevaluating this whole place? Is the floor like solid? Is it like solid rock?
Um, it
Or does it
is. It
look
is
more
okay.
fragile than it might initially seem?
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It looks sound for a good maybe 120 feet, and then it looks like it's just like dirt and sand mixture, like 120 from the pot, like what, like 120 from the walls. It's all stone, and the rest up to the cauldron. There's a sudden shift of consistency.
Ah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna just like move a little bit, little bit away from that. I don't know how far I can.
Oh boy. So yeah, and as soon as you move a bit, the doors will immediately just open shut, like boom. As you see, um, quite a few goblins emerge, uh, all dressed well, and they actually have quite well weaponry with them as well. And the first one to come is, I guess, yeah. The first one who comes out is literally looks like less of a goblin, more like a bear in a just standing up. He looks like he has a small, tiny, like a small cub bear head. He has fangs. He has everything, but he also has another layer of clothing on himself, and he has weapons. And he just kind of walks in, and followed him there's a massive boar that is like walking behind him, and there's following the boar there's a rope followed by a few other goblins who are look like normal goblins, but of course more well equipped, and they're dragging quite a few well, technically two elks and two boars, large elks and medium-sized boars, just across. And he just kind of goes to like the goblin with the bear fursuit goes to the cauldron and just kind of clings it with his fangs a few times and says, "Got some meat for you to prepare." And the goblin doesn't say anything, just kind of nods. And you can see quite a few goblins emerge from above and from the housing, and they all have like knives, daggers, axes, anything sharp. And they approach and they just start to carve up the animals. Masterfully, basically tearing off any skin and all the bones, organs, and meat they chuck straight into a cauldron. Anyone would like to do anything?
I still haven't noticed it's a baler, have I?
Oh, you're just like, that's a nice tune that I'm playing.
You're just enjoying the music that you're playing.
So yeah, I'm still sitting like maybe 100 feet away, just chilling out on the ground, playing on my lute.
It's just
Like, I'm like, whose idea was it to come in here again?
Is there any way to tell if it's still raining?
Yeah, it is, because there's like a small opening, so it pours. So yeah, we're just gonna chill.
Okay, we're in this situation now, and
so the bear individual, the bear goblin, finishes just telling the orders to carve everything up and skin what they need, and then like notices finally that there's new individuals, and just kind of just goes a few feet from the cauldron, just kind of puts his hands on his waist and like, welcome, Zagratus. Not Zagratus. The bear immediately looks at the Zagratus and just says, additional meat for the cauldron? Zagratus just kind of shakes his head, no.
Like when he says that, I the guy that said that. Like, no, I just eye him, but I give him a look like you can try, but it won't be.
I give you a look which is he will.
It's not a matter of he can kill you or cannot. It's a matter of how much of you will remain after he's done with you.
I think if he's coming, I'm taking somebody down with me.
I'm gonna like just kind of look between them and the exit and the cauldron, trying to like weigh up what the best course of action right here is. And then I'm eventually going to kind of like I have a little bit of a dumb expression on my face as my brain is like trying to figure out what I can say to not end up anywhere. I'm gonna say, I hear you are the champion of this group.
The goblin approaches you with like a quickened pace, like just fucking power walks towards you. Well, I wouldn't call it champion, more like headhunter, because I hunt stuff and bring it here to the cauldron. And he kind of gives you a hand, and you literally see, there's like some sort of disgusting fusion between the bear that is wearing and his actual like goblin. As you see, there's like I don't even know. It's like it looks like it's been badly photoshopped. Like if you put like a human hand or a goblin hand in this case and badly photoshopped it into the into a bear's paw. That's pretty much how it looks. You see the goblin's paw, but beyond it, there's just only actual like hide of the bear that moves like actual flesh, because it's actual flesh And he basically gives you like a shake on the hand and just kind of grazes you with his fangs, not well, with his claws, I guess. Yeah, with his claws, and he just kind of shakes you, and you can feel the sensation of the whole claw around you, and the flesh of the bear is like really warm. Um, Name's Bear. A pleasure.
Uh, yes, a pleasure. I am quite taken aback by you all.
Well, we also
I
are taken back by you as he tries to like look dwarf, right?
yes, and you and I kind of look at him up and down. Are a goblin? Yes.
That is also lycanthrope, suffering from lycanthropy of a werebear. Yes.
I see.
Knew it. You just hear it. Knew it.
I must admit, with all of you very knowledgeable leaders and impressive warriors and impressive companion animals, that you must all be quite skilled or gifted, perhaps.
He kind of shakes his head in confusion. No, not really. Well, except for Zagratis, but Zagratis is his own beast. And he just yell. You could hear Zagratar yell out to the bear. It's Zagratar, not Zagratis. I'm not a swamp. Whatever, swamp goblin. And he kind of looks back at you, Warham.
So you have been hunting.
I.
How have you found that difficult at all with your neighboring, not so friendly group of goblins?
You can see immediately the eyes squint and there's like intense stare. Like suddenly he went from like, I'm a friendly individual to say something wrong and your life hangs on a balance.
My apologies.
Do you know
we are
something?
here because we have been quite lost, and we saw two columns of smoke in the woods. We found yours, but apparently the other one isn't, from what I've gathered.
He kind of looks at you.
Did he say anything, or is he just staring?
No, he looks at you and he like contemplates what you're saying. You say you saw another pile of smoke. Where?
Yes, I kind of desperately look at the others. We all did.
Prince looks scared.
I'm not being dragged under this bus on my own.
Dovkin just kind of, yeah, saw a western position from the mountainous cave. Approximately the same amount of distance from here? And then the bear immediately just kind of straightens out. That must be Greenhide. Where is he anyway? He kind of looks around and he's like looks at the conscious goblin. And then looks at Zagaratar like, huh? Did you knock him unconscious? Zagaratar says nothing.
Yep, he smacked him with the spoon.
The bear says nothing, but there's this look of disappointment towards Zagaratar. So with that, Thanks, sir. Oh, but it's been 3 hours, so are you good to continue?
At least to finish this scene, I guess.
Alrighty.
This conversation.
Alrighty. So, anybody? I mean, technically, the scene is technically finished unless anybody has anything to say.
Yeah, I think we can stop here.
Because
Yeah, seems like a good point. We've learned some stuff, met some people. Probably shouldn't offend anyone.
Probably shouldn't, but might end up offending people.
yeah, I do. I fucking call it. If you're gonna roll a natural 20, it's gonna be great. It's like you roll a natural 20.
I literally the whole session I've rolled like below 10s, and then the one good roll.
And when it mattered, you're like, dab. Fuck you.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's like, something's a little bit fishy here. Where I recognize that name? Oh fuck.
I can only imagine if the Baylor responded.
Oh my god.
Right.
I really wanted them to not be able to speak a language, so then I could be like, guys, we might have a situation here.
We might have to step out the
you-
door and
Oh boy. Yeah.
And then at the door, when I spoke Abyssal, and they're like, are you a demon? Probably a good thing I said no.
Oh yeah.
It's like, yes I am. They're like,
You know
one
what
more
would
to add
happen?
to my collection.
You know what would happen?
What?
Banishment.
Nice. Like the rest of you all do this like normal scene, and I'm just like stood out in the rain at the front of the cave.
No, not like banishment. Like you go away. You literally dispel banishment.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, technically, it would just disappear for a minute and then reappear.
yeah, a minute. Yeah, you just go to like an empty plane.
Yeah, you go to like a nice, grassy, warm place for a minute and come back.
You'd be like, that was weird. Okay.
So,
No, yeah, but that's good. I think that's a good place to stop.
yeah, so, with that being said and done, I guess, we're starting the planet. So, you got exactly 15 seconds to say whatever the fuck you want before I shut the stream down with no survivors.
We're in a lot of shit here.
Elf
I'm not
racism.
that today.
Racism, yay.